Waalaikumsalam
Waalaikumsalam.
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Wa bihi nasta'inu ala umuri dunya waddin. Asyhadu an la ilaha illallah wa anna Muhammadar Rasulullah. Allahumma shalli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama shallaita ala ali Ibrahim wa barik ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama barakta ala ali Ibrahim fil alamin innaka Hamidum Majid. Honorable Bapak Alimin Adi Waluyo from the United States of America, and also maybe good evening ya. Good evening for Pak Alimin and good morning, very early morning for Ibu Esti Miranda because it is still maybe 2 a.m. in Hungary. Thank you very much for coming to these sessions. We are sorry to disturb you, Pak Alimin and Bu Hesti. Pak Alimin, maybe it's, you are waiting for iftar, and Bu Hesti, maybe you are waiting for sahur. Yeah? Because time is very different, so it is difficult for us to make a time which is suitable for both of you. Thank you very much for the committee to prepare this event, and also thank you very much for all participants who join this event. We hope that you will get several benefits from this event. We hope that you have a new perspective or new experience in understanding the culture, because we will learn how Ramadan runs in the different countries between America and Europe especially. For your information, this event is a kind of series event. So we are also prepared in the end of Ramadan. We will also invite maybe speaker from Australia and from Korea, if I'm not mistaken. We will also see how Ramadan is done in Korea and Australia. Maybe in the end of this month, yeah. In the end of Ramadan, maybe, yeah. So don't forget to join, everyone. And also you can share this information to your friends, especially for students of SMA or secondary schools. You can also invite your friends to join. This is free. And don't forget to fill out the, attendance list in order that you can access the e-certificate. Yeah, you will be given e-certificates as far as you fill out the the link. Yeah, the attendance list link. And also maybe around May we also prepare to have online sessions about tips and tricks in doing SBMPTN. So don't forget for SMA students especially to join, because we will also have how to do the SBMPTN test in order that you can access universities that you want. I think that is the opening for me, introductions. For your information also, this event is held by English Education Department, as said by Mbak Nabila Anggi, English Education Department from University of Muhammadiyah, Malang. Thank you very much once again for Bapak Alimin Adi Waluyo and also Ibu Esti Miranda for giving the time for us. Have a good time. Please enjoy the event. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Mr. Jarum, for your welcoming words. So let's move forward to our next agenda. The next agenda is a closer look at Ramadan in the USA with Alimin Adi Waluyo and Appling. So Mr. Alimin, the screen is yours.
Thank you so much. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Pak Jarum, as the head of ELED. Thank you, my fellow lecturers from ELED as well, because I'm also teaching in ELED department. Yeah, I'm so excited to share about my experience studying here. So before I begin my presentation, so I don't intentionally do not share my slide yet, because I want to introduce shortly about my background. So I graduated from UMM English department. Pak Charum is one of my lecturers, one of the favorite ones. And then yeah, I finished my bachelor degree at the university, and then I continued my master in Australia under Australia government scholarship. And then for my PhD now, I got a Fulbright scholarship from US government. So yeah, there was a bit funny story like we discussed before with Bu Miranda, that actually I also got accepted in Stipendium Hungaricum. That's like the same scholarship that now I think Bu Miranda got. But then like several days before I fly to Hungary, and then there was announcement. That was so hard, a difficult situation at that time, whether I keep going with my stipendium or I move to another scholarship. But then finally I decided to take Fulbright scholarship. And then, so yeah, that's the story, short story about my journey. So if you want to, especially for senior high school students, if you want to take English department at UMM, I think there will be great options, because the lectures, they're wonderful, they're so inspiring. And actually, I want to study in Australia, and then now I'm studying in the US. One of the inspiration is from my lectures when I was studying my bachelor in English education department. So yeah, they're excellent. They're very helpful, and they're very professionals. And many English department lecturers, they graduated from different countries, so you learn different cultures from English department lectures. So that's gonna be one of great options in the future when you want to take English educations. So that's a bit introduction about my bachelor as well, about my English educations program. Now let's move to my presentations. Let me share screen. Can anyone see my screen clearly?
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. So, like what the committee said, the presentation is going to be about sharing experiences. So what I'm going to share is something about academic and informal or like casual, as well as Ramadan experience while I'm here in the US. So that's the title of my presentation, Hybrid Experiences, which is combining formal, informal, casual in Ramadan while I'm studying in the US. And there will be basically 3 big topics that I'm going to deliver into this session. So the first one, I'm going to share about US uniqueness, some fun facts that you might not see from Google, probably, hopefully. And the second one, I'm going to share about academic cultures. So academic culture, how, if you want to study here, even for teachers, if they want to have like short course, I think there is a lot of opportunities. From US government, there is short course for teachers, senior or junior high school teachers. So if you want to, you can just Google, you can search the website Fulbright, and then there will be opportunities. Even you can invite like US teachers to teach in your schools. There are some requirements that you have to fulfill, and then you can apply for it. And I think if you want to, you can try it. And then the third one, I'm going to share about Ramadan culture in here in Pullman City, Washington, not Washington DC, but Washington State. So I hope that you do not misunderstand, because Washington DC and Washington States are 2 different states. But most people, they still sometimes they confuse when when I'd say Washington, they consider Washington DC. No, that's different. Washington DC is the capital of the United States of America, and Washington is the state. And now I'm studying in Washington State in Pullman City. A short survey before we became this interview. Did you try to answer this short survey? This is very easy, just 1-2 minutes, you can get it done. Just answer the first question. It's very simple question. Just answer the first one. Then I'm gonna share it. Let me share. Probably not everyone is able to answer these questions. It's limited. It's not. Probably it's less than 50 or around 50. But just try. I hope that. Okay. It's interesting. Fast food, New York. Let me share with you the survey result. Any other answers? Virginia, New York, superpower, Superman, fast food. Okay, in Indonesia, I think fast food is more crazy. Takjil is more crazy. That's crazier than fast food in here. Without any government's registration, we are stronger in terms of fast food. Amazing nature. Okay. Any more answers? New York. Okay. That's all. Anything that's probably different, or anyone would like to share, like one most interesting thing that you are correlated to the US. If there is anyone would like to share something related to one interesting thing. Lionel Messi, yeah, he just moved now to Miami. Miami is so far away from Washington State. It's like south part. Anyone would like to share something related to one interesting things that you want to share, and that one interesting thing is related to US? You can do that if you want to. American Corner, movie, yeah, Hollywood. Okay. Anyone want to share something? Okay. If no one wants to share, let me continue to the next one. Let me come back to my share screen. Okay. All right. So this is the first subtopic that I'm going to share with you. So I'm going to share uniqueness of the US, particularly the Northwest regions. That's the state where I live. So because the state is so huge, so I don't really understand the north part or the north region. So what I'm going to say is the cultures, they are still connected to Northwest. So it's kind of the states that are close to Canada and the west side. The west side means it's close to Pacific. If you see the map, it's close to Pacific Ocean. Yeah, I think Pacific Oceans. So up and then west. That's the place where where I'm living, and I'm gonna share cultures or uniqueness of those states. like Washington and then Idaho, Oregon, somewhere around those states. What's happened with my? So there is a problem with my laptop. It doesn't want to move. Let me.
Excuse me, Pak Limin.
Yeah,
Would you like to share your presentation to us so that we
that's the
can share
thing.
screen?
That's
Oh yeah,
there you
it's
go.
moving. It's moving right now, I think.
Oh, that's wonderful. I was so nervous finally.
Chill, relax.
Yeah, because if it's close to iftar, so let me.
Not yet iftar to Rafika, so a little nervous.
So actually, it is a perfect moment, yeah, for him to pray.
Stop share. Sorry for this unintentional problem. I'll share it with Pak Brahmi. Pak Brahmi, I've shared my slide with you. Will you help me to open and share screen with us?
For sure, please.
Yes.
I'm still waiting. Yeah.
I've shared the file with you.
Yes, I think I got it. Please wait for a moment, pal.
I'm sorry, everyone. There is a bit technical issue. So yeah, like I said before, US is so huge, and the culture is so different between South and North part, because North parts people more academics than. Have you said it, Aprami?
Yes, I have. Yes. Is it
Okay.
visible for everyone?
Yep. Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay. Can you move to the next slide? There you go. Okay. Once more. Yep. Okay. So yeah, I'll begin from the first one. Winter is the least loved seasons. That's absolutely right. So winter season is like one of the hardest seasons for us when you live in a like country with 4 seasons, because especially the state where it's close to Canada, because the winter is so extreme. So usually the day is not that good. Our mood is not that good as well. So, but it's good for when I was coming here the first time. I was so excited to see snow, especially if you wanna post to your social media. That will be great opportunity. But then after several months, that's a real torture. That's a that's a real journey. And for your information, winter here, it could reach -24. To put it in perspective, -24 is colder than freezer. So it's colder than freezers. So if you want to go out, everything must be covered except your eyes. Otherwise, you will be frozen. So it's unbearable. And your clothes must be 3 layers, not just double, but triples. And the first clothes must be like thermal clothes. It means that it's warm clothes, the clothes that designed for winter. If you don't wear thermal clothes, even you're going out with 3 layers, it's still too difficult. And then the jacket is also designed just for winter. That's the winter season here, especially the north states. And then the states in the lands in the US, they are mostly empty, especially the middle. So people, they usually gather around or live around the big cities like Los Angeles, New York, Seattle, Oregon, like big cities. But most villages and small cities, they're just empty. So yeah, it's pretty much empty. And the roads, number 3, each state has a different unique nature. So different state, the nature is so different. They're completely different. So between, let's say, Washington State, the nature will be completely different compared to like Montana, Idaho, or other states. The mountains different, the landscapes different. So that's pretty unique. So the state here is pretty unique. So we can do road trip to enjoy different nature and landscape, and it's gonna be amazing experience. And then number 4, interstate or intercity roads are so wide, smooth, and empty, like what you see right there. That's a kind of typical roads in the US. So they're huge and empty. But then that's why driving in here is so popular, and people love road trip because it's comfortable to do that. And then cars are pretty big. Yeah, a lot of cars, not many, but yeah, most cars, not most, but many cars that's so big, like you never see it before when we are in Indonesia or other countries. I live in Australia before, and the cars in Australia are big, but in here it's just different. Yeah, it's just big, and that's why the parking lots, most of parking lots, they are quite big and spacey. And the primary public transportation is car. So car is kind of the first or the primary public transportation from one city to another city. And there are probably some public transportations in big cities like New York or Seattle, but in small cities, public transportation are not really reliable. I mean, yeah, they're reliable, but the schedule is not that frequent. So cars like the main transportation. That's why this country is so famous with car centric country. Can you come to the next slide, Premi? And the previous one. Okay, there you go. So small cities are quiet and peaceful. That's true. There are a lot of small cities, small villages. They're so quiet. Probably because you see just from the movie, you see like the city like New York or Los Angeles or Las Vegas. They're big cities, but many small cities, they are so quiet and peaceful. Even the villages, they are so unique, very, very quiet. And they will be good alternative if you want to enjoy villages in here, because it's so peaceful. And the distance between one village to another village, it's not like in Indonesia. It's pretty close, like several meters or several kilometers. In here, the distance between one to other villages, it's gonna be like 1 hour driving with around 80 up to 100 kilometers, and that's driving by car. That's the distance between one village to another village. So you can imagine. That's quite far actually, but because the roads are so smooth and big, it's not that far. It looks like not that far, but in fact that's far. And then, yeah, the farming in here, this is very unique. Farmers, if they want to spray their rice, if they want to spray their crops, they are using planes. They even do not use cars, but they're using planes. So literally planes. Like there are some. You come back, Prami. There are some places where the places just some people they build parking just for planes, and the planes belong to farmers. So farmers in here, some of them they have planes just to spray their farming lands. That's so you can imagine how big their farming lands there. And then the next one, it's pretty unique. I don't know if you know it before or it's something new for you, that the state or USA, this country doesn't have official national language. You might think that English is their formal language. It's not. They use English, but that's not official national language like what we have in Indonesia. So we have to be proud of Indonesian language because that's our national language. Because even a superpower country like US, they don't have national language. And then people speak different English accents. There is a lot of accents in here. African Americans, and then Latin accents, Indian accents, and yeah, there's just different accent. Even different states and in a state in north or up states like north state, their accents are easier to understand, in my opinion. But when it comes to south states, the accent is difficult. So it's hard to understand the accents as well. So do not think that like American accent is always easier than British or Australian accents. But when it comes to certain states, their accent is so unique because this country is so huge. So they have a lot of different accents. Next slide, Prani. I think we can just keep going. We can skip this survey. Now I'm going to move to academic cultures and university features from the US. So that's a little bit story about the general things or general knowledge that I know so far from the US. Now I'm going to move to academic cultures and university life. So university in here, most universities, they're huge with unique and old buildings, as you can see on the left side with red buildings, a lot of red buildings. That's my university. That's Washington State University. That's huge. I even don't know where's the border of the university because that's super huge. And yeah, it's surrounded by huge land, farming lands as well. And then down left side, that's Syracuse University. As you can see there, the building is completely different compared to Washington State University. And Syracuse University is in New York. Syracuse is one of the cities named in New York. And I studied at Syracuse University before for 1 month as a part of like pre-orientation before I began my PhD. And then, yeah, that's my picture. It's a bit selfie when winter coming, when snow. And then the second one, students are educated to be open-minded, critical, and appreciative. So education system in here is like we are encouraged, we are supported to be open-minded. That's how the education system is designed. So we have to be very open-minded. It means that we are skeptical into information that we accept. If there is one information, then we try to compare and contrast. We try to look for another references to ensure whether the information is true or not, to validate the informations. So that's how the education in here. So most of the assignments is not about wrong and false answer, but it's more like we are giving our reasons into particular things. And then it leads into more critical thinking. That's pretty critical in here. So we need to have critical thinking. But I think by more reading and discussion in class, and we are exposed into education system in here, our critical thinking will improve. And then appreciative, that's how the class is designed as well. So when there is someone else express their thoughts, other people have to appreciate it, no matter what they're saying. So they're very, very appreciative. There is no like wrong thoughts or correct thoughts. That's just opinions. But the thing is, we have to keep quiet and then appreciate when someone else is talking, when someone else is expressing their thoughts and their opinions. And it leads into the third point, where reading, having solid reading and writing endurance is key. That's critical. So we need to have very strong endurance in reading and writing. So we have to love reading. If you don't really love reading, so start to read now. Start to love it. Start to read several pages. So you become you familiarize yourself with reading, and then writing. Because most of the assignments will be reading and writing. There will be a lot of readings that you'll see when studying here. And then facilities and services are outstanding. Yeah. So yeah, like although the assignments are quite challenging, but then the facilities and the services are really helping us to achieve the best result of finishing our assignments. So you don't have to worry with challenging assignments, because the facilities will help us to make the assignments looks easy. No, it doesn't necessarily mean it becomes easier, but it looks easy because the facilities like the libraries, the references quite complete, and then other facilities like laptop or computer. There is a lot of laptops available around universities that we can use for free, and you don't have to worry about a Wi-Fi in here. It's super quick Wi-Fi will be available around the universities, so you don't have to worry about it. Yep. Okay, next slide. All right, so the next one, teachers and staff are very helpful and responsive. That's true. So your teachers, when you're studying here, they're very, very helpful. So if you have any problem, just don't be afraid. Don't be shy to share your problems with your instructors, with staff. If you got administrative issues or concern, just share with them. They'll be more than happy to help you, and they're very, very responsive about it. So they're very professional. And then the next one, I love pantry. Yeah, pantry is, I think, so America. So every university, almost like nearly all, I don't know it, but most universities that I know so far, they have pantry. In pantry, you can grab any foods that you want. You can go there every single day if you want to, if you're not shy. But yeah, that's true. You can go there every single day and you can grab any foods. It could be snack and some foods that you want to bring them home and you want to cook them at home, you can do that as well. And those foods, those meals are for free. As long as you are students, all you need to bring just your student ID. That's it. And that pantry is actually designed for students who have like you don't really have enough money and you're financially not really stable, then you can go there. Again, that's for free. Yeah, I think that's like most universities in here. They provide pantry. And the next one, the classroom is very comfortable and large and individualized. So the class is not like the wall, the classroom design. As you can see there on down left side, that's typical class in at universities in the US. So, but usually the students are not that many. Yeah, based on my experience, students my classmates, like around 14, 15, sometimes just 10. So far, I joined a class, the highest number of students are around 22, 23 somethings. Yeah, so most classes, especially if it's class, not seminar class, gonna be under 20. And then the walls like mating in Indonesia, like mating. So we can attach our projects, our poster, anything that related to classroom projects. Students could attach there. So the walls very functional. And then like you see there, the tables, they design like that. So circling, like some students, they will be in a one big table, they're circling, because one of the big focuses when studying there is collaborations and interactions. That's why the class is designed that way. And it's very individualized. It means that sometimes we can rearrange the class layout. And sometimes some classes, they have a printer where students can print some pages if they want to. If there are some assignments that they want to print, they can print some of paper right there, but not all classes. And the fourth one, the course expectations have been identifiable since week 1. So once you come to class in week 1, you already know what you are going to do throughout semester. So in 16 weeks, what you are going to do, everything is clear there. What assignments that you have to do, and then the readings that you have to read, the references that you need to access. Everything's clear since week 1. Mostly it's not changed, except like the whole class discuss with the teacher, and then they want to change together. That's possible. So it's not that strict, but it's still flexible in some degree. So yeah, that's how the course is designed there. There is a flexibility, but it's clear since the beginning of the week 1.
I'm sorry, Mr. Alimin.
Yep.
You only have 7 minutes left for your presentation.
Okay, sure.
Okay,
All right.
thank
Now
you.
we move to. Thank you for the reminder. Next one, Remy. Okay. This is the last slide about the Ramadan culture here in Pullman, especially in my city, Pullman, Washington. So the Ramadan cultures in here, there is one place for Jama'ah in here. It's called Islamic Center, and it provides iftar every single day for Muslim or non-Muslim. If non-Muslims want to come there and they want to have some meals, it's also available, and it's every single day. And then Ramadan this year is the spring, which is good news, because if Ramadan will be if the Ramadan will be summer, there will be torture. There will be too long, because summer in here, Maghrib prayer will be almost 9, and then Subuh would be around 3 something. So it's gonna be very long. Fortunately, Ramadan this month is spring, so that's good. Just 14-hour fasting. And Tarawih is like in Indonesia, except the ayah. It's like in Indonesia. It's not that different, but it's divided into 2 sessions. So the first sessions, like 8 raka'ah Tarawih, and then 3 raka'ah witrs. But every raka'ah, the verses that the Imam read, very, very long. So for 8 raka'ah plus 3, 8 raka'ah Tarawih plus 3 witr, it's gonna be 1 hour. But then after that session finished, there will be, if some people want to continue, they can have the second session, which is 20 raka'ah Tarawih. I think without witr anymore, because it's been done before. And the second session will be, I don't know, it might be very long, because I never tried the second session. I just tried the first one, which is 8 plus 3. And then most Muslims coming from South Asia countries like India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Middle East, like Saudi Arabia, And then, yeah, most Saudi Arabia, Iran, Iraq, Libya, and there are not many Indonesians in the city where I live, Pullman, Washington. And Ramadan 5 here is not that strong. It's not like in Indonesia. Ramadan is like so, so the experience is like unforgettable in Indonesia. But in here, it's like no Ramadan. It's like people having normal activities because there is no speaker with high volume in here, not just from masjid or Islamic center, but also from other public spaces. It's forbidden by law to have like high volume speaker. And next slide, Rami. There you go. Yeah, you're not gonna find this in here. There will be no takjil war like in Indonesia, no food stalls. So everything is clean. Everything is everything is in the right order, which is sometimes boring. So yeah, there is no takjil. There is nothing like something special before fasting break, before iftar. I think that's all. Next slide. Yeah, and that last one. Can you come back? Yeah, the last one. The university runs as usual. So even it's Ramadan, the university is like other months. So if you join a class, it will be 650 minutes times 3, which means, yeah, that's long hours in Ramadan, but that's how it is. So yeah, the university is just like normal days. No special policy during Ramadans from university. Yeah, that's some cultures from university. I think that's all. We can skip this one because the time's not enough. I think that's all my sharing session about the academic cultures, life, and Ramadan in here. If you have question, I think you can have it later. Right. Thank you so much. I'll return to the MC.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Alimin. Let's give applause to Mr. Alimin. Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Alimin, for the insightful information that you have delivered to us. So, in short, Mr. Alimin shared about his hybrid experiences studying in the US, the US uniqueness, especially Northwest region, Washington State, where Mr. Alimin lived. And the most unique thing is the farmers spray the farm with planes, not a car. And then in academic culture, we need to start to love reading and writing because almost all of the assignments are about reading and writing. And there are also
Absolutely right.
pantries, yeah, where you can take those meals for free and you only need your student's identity. And lastly, Mr. Alimin also shared about Ramadan culture in Pullman, Washington is 14 hours fasting, longer than in Indonesia, and there is no differences in the time of university and no tactile war like Indonesia. Okay, the session from Mr. Alimin is done, so that means we are going to jump to the next agenda. The next agenda is let's have a closer look to Ramadan in Hungary with ELED alumna Hasti, Miranda, and Idi. To Miss Hasti, the time is yours.
Thank you so much. So I think like today we are going to fly again to Hungary. I'm not sure like everybody know about Hungary, but please let me share the PowerPoint first. Can you see the PowerPoint?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, let's start with the introductions. Actually, I graduated from the University of Muhammadiyah Malang. So basically, I'm one of the alumnus from that department. So there are a lot of programs that I joined at that time as a student. So for the international things, such as like the Tongren University, I can see like, at that time when you play the video, there's my photo in there. And then I joined also awardee as the Erasmus program in the Universidad de Murcia. And then after that, when I graduated in 2019, and then I continue my master degree in Taiwan. And when I graduate, I'm thinking about, okay, should I like continue my PhD? And then I come to Hungary because Hungary is not like the first country that I visit. When I was studying like in Universidad de Murcia, I visit Hungary once, and actually I never know this country. Like, okay, this is located in Europe, but it's not really how I can say that the currency is totally different. It's located in the central of the Europe, but it have like a different vibes. So I decided to study in here, and I'm looking for like, what kind of the scholarship that I can find, and then I register, and then like they say, okay, I nominated for the scholarship, and then yeah, I'm here right now. Next, I'm not sure yet. You know about the Hungary. Most of the time, like when people say that, oh, it's Europe, people will thinking about the Amsterdam, Netherlands, and they will think about the France, Eiffel Towers. The information for the Hungary located in the central of the Europes. And then the information that I can tell you like a little bit history that in the past, Hungary is a very big country before they lose in the World War II. So Czech Republic, the Czechoslovakia country before they separate into different country is belong to Hungary. Part of the Austria also belong to Hungary. Ukraine also become part of Hungary. Romania also become part of Hungary. Croatia also become part of the Hungary, and Serbia also become part of Hungary. So you can imagine in the past, also Poland, I forget. So you can imagine like how big the Hungary kingdom in the past, but before they lose the World War II. And after they lose in the World War II, there is Treaty of Trianon, if I'm mistaken. This kind of the, with the block Sesion, like from German and another country, they say, okay, because you lose, so we will take your country. So that's why like some of the country they separate. So now you can see that like, Austria is the independent country, Slovakia, Czech Republic, Romania, and Hungary, only that part of the Hungary that they can like maintain after the war. And then in Hungary, we have like I think like 4 biggest city. Most of the people know about Budapest because that's the beautiful one. That's the capital city of the Hungary. But we have also the Debrecen. We have also Szeged. We have also Pécs. But I choose to study in Debrecen because if I study in Budapest, it's really like, the capital city, like the vibes, like I cannot go there because like, okay, I'm going to like hang out every day with my friends. So that's why I choose to study in Debrecen. And they provide me also with the program that I want to study. So this is my University of Debrecen. So if you go abroad, if you find the city, for example, the city is Budapest, Szeged, Debrecen, the name of the university that will be the name of the city. So this is the University of Debrecen because it's located in Debrecen. This is public university. The interesting about this university is some of people in here they call as the Harry Potter University. That's because the architecture of the university, if you go up inside of that, and then like the big stairs of the in the movie in the Harry Potter, like you can see all of the architecture in there, the inside, and the symbols of the city is phoenix that you can see also in the Harry Potter. It means that never ending renewal. So this city actually before like because the capital is Budapest, but in the past the capital city of Hungary is Debrecen. So that's why they say that it's never ending, like the myth. So how about the difference between the Indonesia versus Hungary? So we will talk about like 4 things here. The first one is time. Is in the US we have a different like 14 hours, but in Hungary we only have like 6 hours for winter. Yeah, I mean like winter and spring, but for summer we reduce 1 hour, so which is like we will have the different with like 5 hours. So if the event start around 2, I mean like around 8 a.m. So in Hungary it will be like 2 a.m. I think this time is still okay for me, because like when you want to contact your family, it's still in the same day. But if you contact them in here in Hungary, it's still in the morning, but they will be like, yeah, evenings. And for the time for the fasting as well, I think it's not really different. So right now we will break our fasting iftar around 5 something, like almost 6. I think it's almost similar with Malang. But in the first day we break our fasting is around 5 p.m. But later in April it will be like 7. But this one is still okay because if we compare like in the USA also, like in the summer, Maghrib praying, it will be like around 9, but in here it will be around 8. So which is mean like iftar is around 8. So you have to fasting like 18 hours. And then it's talking about the religions. How do I live in here? Like not many people know about religion. So if in Indonesia you have like the 5 religion, like the Christians, Catholic, Protestant, Islam, and also Buddhist, and what else? Hindu. But in here, the majority of the people is Calvinist and Luther. They say that we can say that it's Calvinist is kind of the Catholic, but not really Catholic. So it's a little bit confusing, but I'm not really know exactly what is this because like, it's different religion with us. The thing is that the function of this religion is because in the past, in the Europe, the education is start from church. So that's why the church rule is very important at that time. So when they have like the Calvinists, we can say that it's a reforms church. So in the reformed church, the father is always teach like how to read, how to write for the local people around in that society. So that's why not I think that not many people know about Islam. For example, like my local people and Hungarian people. So when I said it, they asked me why I'm wearing this. So we said, okay, because I'm Muslim. And then I have a friend also. He is from Europe as well, and one of the Hungarian students. When we talking like in the afternoon after the class, and he over us like kind of the biscuit, and we said no, thank you. But they think as like, okay, we just refuse their over, but actually no, because it's very difficult to explain that, okay, I'm fasting, I'm Muslim, so so that's why we just like, okay, no, thank you. That's the only answer that we want to give to us. Not only me, but also my friends, like they are Muslim. But for the international students, like the immigrant as well, like the worker also in here, for the Muslim people also come from the Middle East, like Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Pakistan, Indians, Muslim, Malaysia as well. So they know about it. And in my class also, we have like Muslim people like from Iran, Kurdish, and Malaysia. So we can feel like, okay, it's not really different. So I have a friend like Muslim friend with me for if we do like in during the Ramadan. And about the food, some of the people will think that, okay, the food in Europe, they will think about the sandwich and pasta, even though pasta is for Italy. But in here, like, because I was studying in Spain, there is a traditional food is called paella. Paella is like from rice and also the seafood. So in here it's almost similar. So the traditional food is a goulash, which is like is a beef. It's a beef soup actually, like with the tomato and something, and also with the rice. So when you go to the canteen or the cafeteria in the university, they will provide you with the French fries and also with the rice. So you can choose. So rice is not really like difficult to find. It's really easy, and they have very many variants of the rice, like jasmine. It's starting from the cheapest one to the expensive one. So it's depend on you what kind of the rice that you want to buy. And we have kind of the rice to make lontong as well. So it's like a box. So you just need to boil that rice in the hot water in the pot. So it will be, and after that you put in the fridge. So it will be like a lontong. it's totally like a lontong. So for us, if like in the Eid celebration, we don't need to, confuse how to make a lontong. We want to make a curry in a lontong, but we can buy the rice. It's very easy. You just boil the water around 15 minutes and put into refrigerator, and that's it. You get the lontong. And then talking about the weather, I love the weather right now, even though it's a little bit cool. I think right now is around 8 degrees Celsius. It's cold actually, but still okay if you are fasting, because like the weather is cold, and then like you get the blue sky as well. There is sunny, but it's not really hot like in summer. If it is in summer, it's reached like 40 degrees Celsius, like 42 to 45. It's very hard for you to fasting, but right now the weather is cold, so you not really feel like hungry or thirsty. So I think it's a good weather. But if you get the fasting in the summer, wow, it's really difficult. Like we are suffering. And then let's continue with okay, the community of the Muslim people. As I said before, like we have actually the international students that they come from like Middle East and also come from like Pakistan, India's Muslim, and Malaysia. But the closest one with us, because we have the similar culture, is Malaysians students. But you cannot say that okay, we will celebrate that after, like after Ramadan we will have the Eid celebration. So we will do, for example, today is the last day of the Ramadan and tomorrow is Eid celebration. No, you cannot think about it like, okay, tomorrow we are going to have a praying and we are going to have Eid celebration. No, you cannot think like that because it's totally different. Like Mr. Alimin said before, it's still active semester. So last year, I have like 3 or 4 classes. No, yeah, I think like 3 or 4 classes. After around 7 a.m., I already go out from the flat and then go to the classroom. And I and my Malaysian friends, we bring a lot of like a bunch of food and bring it to the classroom and share with another friends, which is like they are Buddhist, Catholic, and also some of the another religions. And then they was asking like, why you bring a lot of food? Is it party? And we say, yeah, this is our big celebration after Ramadan, and we explain about it. So actually, we want to pray, but we don't have a time because we have a class today. So we will celebrate with you. So they really appreciate it and they're really curious and they ask us about like many questions. So what the usually people do at a time in the Eid celebration and something. And the Eid celebration will do like usually on the weekend. So the vibes, we make the vibes like, for example, if the Eid celebration on Tuesday, the vibes will be changed into the Saturday, because like, on Saturday and Sunday, like the weekend, we don't have any classes. So that's the day that we can gather with a lot of people. We're trying to invite our friends, our local students, I mean like the local friends. That if you can see in the picture, there is the Hungarians people in there. His name is Aurel. Aurel is Hungarian, but he can speak Indonesian very fluently. And also the Malaysian students, they are from Budapest and also from Debrecen. And then yeah, our community students association in here in Debrecen also. Okay, wait a minute. So if we see how many students in Indonesian students in Debrecen, this is the updated data that I can say that the bachelor is 2 students and the master is around 6 people and PhD around 21 students. So you can see this is their face. This is during the Ramadan last year, but for this year, the event is today at my flat, because if in Indonesia you can do like the tarawih is every day, but in here we have to like make an event like, okay, what who will be like the imam, who will be for the imam for Maghrib and Isha and the Taraweh. So and how about the food? The food we do like the potluck party. So potluck, it means like you cook and I cook. So we will bring our food into the certain place and we will eat together. So we'll like have the iftar together and also the praying together. So this is the vibe that we make by ourselves. Now we talking more specifically about the worship, about the praying. For the daily activities, for example, like yesterday, I have a class starting in the early morning until evening. So if you want to pray like the Zuhur and Asar, you can to do in the learning center because like there are a lot of Muslim students. My university is very kindly to provide like a small place for praying with the every utilities in there like the sajadah and something they provide for the students because you know the learning center in Indonesia and in here is different. So learning center which is mean like a place for students to study. So it will be like 3 floors. It only consists of the tables, the long tables, short table like the for the individuals, and also they provide with the cafeteria and also for the what is it for the praying place because they know that if the students study starting from the morning they will like eat the breakfast in the cafeteria and then they will like start until study until the late very until the learning center close. So that's why the university provide the students with the facility for praying. So if you have like a time for praying you just praying, but the difficult thing is that you have to use your card, different card with your students card. So sometimes it's work, sometimes it's not. But if it is not work, you can ask the students in there like near the table, so can you please open for us, or you can knock the door. Usually there's a lot of students who praying in there, so you just like ask their help. And near the university also, University of Debrecen, we have the Debrecen mosque. It's called Muslim mosque. But you cannot imagine like the mosque in here is almost similar like the mosque in Indonesia, like is pretty beautiful. The mosque in here is like a flat, like an apartment. So it's only like it's very small letters in there, like a house. And the first time I went to the university and my friend said, "Oh, this is mosque." Huh? Where is mosque? You can see in there, huh, where, like I have minus, I use glasses and then, okay, where? Okay, there's a very small letter in the Islamic mosque. Oh, okay. But um not really many people like go to that mosque because like we have a different time for study. But for men who wants to go to the Friday prayer, they will go to T building in a medical faculty. Is not a mosque, but actually is like a big room. So there are a lot of people from the Pakistans, like Egypt, Saudi Arabia, that they're praying in there. So every Friday they will go to the T building. And also if you have the PhD office, you can go to the PhD office also to praying. Like last year I often go to my friend's office because like all of the students in there come from Pakistan and also from Morocco or Tunisia. So when we pray in there, so there's no any problem, they will not know many questions. But if you praying in the in the humanist faculty in my faculty, there are many that local people, Hungarian students. So we just like it will be like, what are you doing in the floor? So it's very comfortable to praying in the which is in the learning center or the your friend's PhD office. And about fasting, as I said before, it's not really different with Indonesia. It's starting for like 4 right now. I think like 4, 3, and it will be open like break your fasting around like 5 or 6 p.m. So it's still fine like Indonesia. And as I said before, like spring season is very loved season by everyone because it's cold. So the time also almost similar with Asians. So most of my Asians friend also very love this weather and active semester. So no matter what, if you are hungry, if you are like there's no energy to go to classroom, you have to go to classroom because like today is very active semester. You have many classes. Like for example, one day you can go have like 2 classes, which is starting from the 8 to 2 or 3 p.m. So you have to survive with that. But the most difficult thing is for me to not only the food or the drink, But I think the most difficult for me is drink a coffee because I'm very sleepy because we work with the papers and the assignment, and then in the morning and afternoon you have to attend your class, and then you're very sleepy but you cannot drink the coffee. And in the first day of the Ramadan, I was queuing in front of the vending machine, the coffee vending machines, and there are a lot of people queuing in there also. And when I was like two people in front of me, and I was realized why I was standing in here. Like, okay, I think I was wrong because I'm now fasting. I cannot drink coffee, so okay, I just going back to the class. That's the difficult things for the fasting in here as the students. So, uh, if it is term in Indonesia, we have the ngabuburit. In here, we don't have it, but we can say like when you go somewhere, like just spend your time before your iftar. Yeah, we can say also like ngabuburit. The most of the time I do my ngabuburit is in the classroom. So there's nothing special. Like, okay, we just go to the classroom, like bring your drink, bring your food, or you can buy it in the supermarket near the university. So you just like, okay, this your ngabuburit. If like the class starting around like 5, so you can like, okay, just chatting with your friends before the class started, and then like attend the class with your professor, with your friends. So there's nothing special, but because like I have my closest friend, she is a Muslim, so we can see like, okay, this is our vibe. Like, okay, this is iftar, so not really special, but it's really a good experience also. And if we have the gathering like today, this Saturday, before the iftar, our ngabuburit is play board game. I'm not sure if the board game is now is like trending in Indonesia, but board game in especially in Hungary is pretty um famous. So it's like a game, if you play Uno, it's very the simple one, but here is like you can play with the some many people, like 5, 6, uh and you can spend around like 3 to 4 hours to play the board game. And this is one of the board game that we play currently. We have a lot of board game in the present. This call is Katan. So there are a lot of students. They even make the competition, Katan competitions, to like they spend their time before the iftar. This is for the students. And how about the children? If the students bring their children, they also will play something to spend a lot of their time and distract them, to thinking about the food, because and their aunt like trying to prepare for the food. So we will give them like kind of the puzzle so they can spend their time to playing it. So for iftar, I can say that most of the time I eat Indonesian food. So you cannot think like, okay, you are in Europe, so you will eat like most of the time is bread and sandwich. No, most of the time I eat Indonesian food like every day. So for the iftar, if you want to eat like, I'm sorry, this is still in the morning. Um, you can make the Indonesian food in here, not really difficult to find like the ingredient. We can find the lemongrass, we can find any like the some species, not really difficult. So it's depend on you want to make it the Indonesian food or not. So in Budapest, they provide like the Asian store, so you can find also water spinach, if you know, like kangkung, water spinach. And also we have tempeh in Budapest, but the price is almost like 40,000 rupiah. So if in Indonesia you can find around like 5,000, I don't know, like 5,000, but in here for one small tempeh, you have to buy around like 40,000 rupiah. So which is for us is okay because like tempeh is very difficult to get. And then we're trying to make like all of the food like typical like Indonesians, when you get your iftar. So we have the rice, crackers, like small fish in there, like bakwan as well, the fritters, and also the chickens. And also for the, because we don't have any takjil in here, so we will make our own takjil with the different persons. Yeah, not really similar, but yeah, almost we can say the taste is still okay, the representation of the the appearance is still okay, so that's good. Like okay, we miss our home, our country, but we cannot make it like, okay, this during the Ramadan we are going to back to our country, so we just make like by ourselves. So this is the situations when we have our iftar. So like, okay, we will sit together in one of our flat room, and like we eat together, and then like we talking, we chatting about everything like our daily lives. And then as the information for if we have the gathering for bukber, because we don't have any bukber like the real bukber, is only like twice a month. But I think for this month I'm not sure, but today is the first bukber that we will have. So we will invite everyone, so not only like for the Muslim students, but also for the uh Catholic and also for Buddhist students. They are Indonesian but only have the different religions. So if you can see, like if there is no students use the hijab or scarf, so they are Catholic and also Buddhist. So yeah, they also enjoy food with us, so it's nice. So when we cook, they will try our food. So is it okay to taste? And they say okay, this okay. So it's nice. And so we can make a respect each other also, it's not only like talking about the Muslim only, but also for the everybody. We are Indonesians. Okay, for it, as I said before, like when you are in the active semester and you have the Eid celebrations, I think this is like in the end of the Ramadan is different. The time for the praying is 7, but you can choose in whether in the embassy of Indonesia in Budapest, they also celebrate Eid with the praying as well. But it will around like 7 a.m. It start at 7 a.m. But the distance between Debrecen in Budapest is around 3 hours by train. So if you wants to arrive like 7, it's almost you have to go by 2. So you will arrive like 6 something, and then you will go with the trams or metro, and you will arrive in the embassy. So it's not really convenience, but if you want to pray in Debrecen, also they provide for you with all of the Muslim students. But yeah, but if you have a class, you can say sorry, I cannot join the praying. But after that, we can make a gathering for all of Indonesian students, and like just regular, like like if Indonesia, you will have like after you praying, you will go to the family's house. But in here, we just go to, okay, let's go to the park, just enjoy our Eid celebrations, bring our friends as much as possible, and enjoy everything, trying to like if you are the international students and you are trying to be like the ambassador of Indonesia, so you're trying to invite your friends and explain what of kind the culture that you have. And then we play the game as well. And then after that, yeah, we will stay like around like start in the morning until afternoon, and then after that you will go back to by your own flat. And how about the food? Still, the system is still potluck is compulsory. Why? Because we are students, we don't have much time to cook. For example, me, if I have a class, like, okay, what kind of the food that easier for me to make? For example, I can make the fritters or bakwan. So I just make it, and like with the large portion, and then bring to the Eid celebration in the park. So that will make more easy for students, because we don't have much time to like cook for everyone, like 40 students, 30 students to cook and buy the ingredients, and like you spend a lot of time on it. So to make it easier to make like equal, so just everyone bring your own food, and we will bring your own bottle, your own place, a box, plate, or everything, your spoon, and then we will like put it in a small bench in the park, and then you just take it out all of the food and then just eat. So we will, it's like during our eating the food, we will ask, oh, what kind of the name of the food and how you can make it, and from this region come from, oh, this is the first time, I mean, it kind of the chit chat during the it celebration. So because we think that this is our family. So I think that's it for me. I will going back to the MC.
Interesting for us, because based on the experiences, we can really tell that this has really very good and has the excellent university of New Jersey, where people say it's the Harry Potter University because there are players like in the Harry Potter movie. And the time difference with Indonesia is 6 hours for winter and spring. The longest fasting is 18 hours, so you will have your iftar around 8 p.m. And also, there's a community of Muslim people, so you don't need to worry about to finding friends with different culture. And there's also a mosque in the prison university that will go us to great. So yeah, after we have a philosophy from Mr. Alimin and Ms. Hesti, now we jump to the next agenda. The next agenda is the question and answer session. The Q&A session will be delivered in 50 minutes. For the participants who have questions, you can raise your hand or write your question in the chat box. You can use email or use languages with the hashtag. Okay. Okay, so there's people who raise their hand.
Mbak Nabila, Pak, suaranya agak ganggu ya?
Yes.
Suaranya agak kurang bagus ya, Pak.
Yes.
Mbak Nabilanya atau
You-
saya ya?
I think
Yeah.
Mbak Nabila's voice is not that clear.
I think
I
the
couldn't
device
listen
is
to
here.
you.
I think the same with me. The sound is
Okay,
not so
I think
clear.
Nabila can move here.
Yeah, we are the same.
I think the device
Probably
is
the
yeah.
probably the speaker. Yeah.
Kindly wait.
There you go.
Okay, is my voice clear?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
So, ini perlu diulangi? Okay, so we have
Yeah.
Q&A session that will be delivered in 50 minutes. And so for the participant who have questions, you can raise your hand or write the question in the chat box. You can use English or mix languages with Bahasa. Okay, there's a lady participant who raised the hand. So for Ansari orang kangen asli. To Mr. Ansari, yes, please.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
I'll never forget my honorable our lecturer, Dr. Tati Manon and Mr. Jarum, whom we will deeply honor. And for
Yes, Pak.
speaker, St. Miranda and Mr. Alimin Adiwaloyo, and never forget to MC Nabila Enggi. As we know, in Indonesia, in Ramadan, there are many posting about about Ramadan. Like in WhatsApp status in Indonesia. My question is for Mr. Alimin and Mrs. Hesti, and what is the role of social media to post information about Ramadan? Do you have it in America or Hungary? Thank you.
So we just directly answer that question, or
Yes, sir. You can answer the question directly.
yeah, okay, thank you. Oh yeah, Ansari, yeah, the question is about the role of social media such as WhatsApp for
Yes.
informing certain information about Ramadan. Yeah, I think so. There is a kind of a group from Islamic Center where yeah, there is kind of information about the Ramadan or other Islamic activities, but that's it. There is nothing like other things. They usually share because there are not many activities in here, like probably just Friday prayer and then Tarawih. And if there is a certain event, like I don't know, like tomorrow there will be open house for everyone. If they want to come, they can come there, and it's usually posted of it. Or if there is another event, that will be announced right there. yeah, I think that's pretty useful tool for us if we want to share something. So it's not that different with Indonesia. Yeah, in terms of yeah, using social media. Yeah, maybe Mbak Hesti want to add something.
Oh yeah, for Hungary, we have Indonesian Student Association, you know, PPI Hungary, Hungaria. So they will give us the information like the timetable for the Ramadan, and also we have the organization is called, you know, like the Pimpinan Cabang Istimewa Muhammadiyah, PCIM, Hungary. So we also the member of that organization. So there are a lot of programs during the Ramadan. So they will like make, you know, to make it more like the activity apa ya, memberikan kesan seperti Ramadan sebelum ini. Jadi ada macam kayak Zoom activity, ada ceramah segala macam kayak gitu.
Okay, Mr. Ansari, is there any further question or is that clear enough for you?
Enough. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ansari, for the question,
You're welcome.
and Ms. Hesti and Mr. Almin for the answer. Okay, let's next to the other participant, to Ms. Laila Nur Izatus. Okay.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, my question is, in your opinion, why is English so important to learn, especially for students in Indonesia? Because too many people underestimate English, like, why study a foreign language when it won't be used in everyday life, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, that is my question. I hope your statement can motivate students in Indonesia to be more enthusiastic about learning. Thank you.
Hesti first, or Hesti want me to answer first?
Perhaps from the Bapak Alimin.
Okay. Sure, okay. Well, why is English important, right? Is that the point of your questions? Laila, ya, Mbak Laila. All right, I think, yeah, English is the language of science. That's the language of knowledge. It's like yeah, that's like the language of science and knowledge and everything, like important knowledge, science, civilization, they are all in English. And it's also international language. English, it's easier for us to yeah, to create better future, and then we'll be more literate, because I think literacy is not just about we are able to read and write, but now we have to expand literacy itself by foreign language literacy. There is also digital literacy. There is also like scientific literacy. So literacy itself is not enough. It means that literacy expansion is critical. And if we want to expand our literacy, English is the key. That's the main key. So without English, I don't think that we understand comprehensive knowledge. We don't really understand comprehensive science. So yeah, English is like the main door to reach, not just, yeah, to reach a better future, to be more well literate. Yeah, that's what I can say.
Yeah, for me, I think from the student's perspective, because if you want to study in Europe, you know, in the Europe, we cannot speak their language, especially in Hungary, they speak Hungarians major. And if you go to another, like Amsterdam, you cannot speak Dutch. So English is the only language, the only option that we can use to speak, to communicate with our friends. And that's also one of the requirement if you have a dream to go abroad. So even though like English is very familiar for you since you are like perhaps in elementary school, you think that, oh, this is English. But if you have a dream to go abroad, English is necessary for you, because without English, you cannot go abroad. Without English, you cannot make a friends from another country. Without English, you cannot, like, deliver your feelings toward your friends. So, and majority of the study program in here, especially in Hungary, even though the official language is Mojor, but with English, you can communicate with your friends, with your teacher. You can like express your feeling, you like it or not. I think that's necessary, because you cannot speak in Bahasa Indonesia in Europe. I think that's my answer.
Okay, thank you for the answer, Mr. Almin and Miss Hesti. Miss Laila, do you have any further question, or it's enough for you?
No, it's enough. Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay, thank you, Miss Laila. Okay, so for the next question from SMA Progressive Mail. Okay,
Okay, can you guys hear me?
yes, we can hear you.
So first, greetings. My name is Zidan. I'm one of the delegations from international class in the SMA Progressive Bumi Salawat. So I have some question for both of you, Ms. Hesti and Mr. Alimin. The first one is for Ms. Hesti. Is it hard to find halal food in Hungary? And then the second is for Mr. Alimin. What is the requirements for us to be an imam in an Islamic center or a mosque in the US? And then the second question is maybe out of the topics, but I want to ask, is that true that Ohio have a lot of anomalies? Thank you. Like in the meme. Thank you so much.
Calon imam besar ini.
Well, okay. What's your name? Mas siapa?
Zidan.
Zidan. Okay, Zidan.
Zidan.
Where is SMA Progressive located? Is that in Malang or? Okay, maybe he. All right. So, yeah, the question is about how to be an imam in here. Imam in here, I think it's there are some requirements, and it's I think it's kind of there is kind of election, and it's this not everyone could be imam in here. There are some requirements. They have to, I don't know, probably they have to able to remembering Qurans, although not 30 years, but yeah, they have to like able to memorize probably 20 something. And then, of course, the English must be like the first requirements. They have to be able to speak English fluently, and then if I'm not mistaken, Imam will get payment. So every month or every week, it's going to be paid by the Islamic Center community. So that's like a job. You can focus on it. So your daily activity will be just becoming Imam, and then you learn about Islam more. And again, the Islamic community in here is not that big, because I live in a small city in Pullman, and yeah, that's something that's quite different. Like probably it's a bit different with Miranda said in there. Pullman is not that big city. Washington, the big city in Washington is in Seattle, and Pullman is a bit far away from Seattle. And yeah, that's how to be imam. And probably in the future you can apply for it if you are able to memorize. I think 20 something or just 15 somethings, and then you have good English. That's possible. And anomaly. Do you ask about anomaly in the Ohio State?
Yes, in Ohio, sir.
What kind of anomaly do you ask? What kind of anomaly?
Okay.
LGBT or like what?
No, like in the meme, there's like a lot of UFOs in Ohio, like that. I
Oh,
want to know
something like
story
UFO. Okay.
of the origin of it.
I'm not sure, because my state is far away from Ohio. But And here people like they just dedicate their life, especially university, they just dedicate their life for science and knowledge. So there is something that different. They try to connect it into something that logical. But in our culture, usually if there is something that's a bit not common, we try to connect it with something that's magical or mysterious. But in here, they try to research. Everything is about statistic in here. So statistic, logic, research. So people will believe if we, based on our arguments or thoughts on research and statistics. And yeah, I think that's kind of, there's nothing quite anomaly, except maybe LGBT. It's not quite common in here. I mean, it's also common in Indonesia about LGBT. But the thing that we have to highlight in here, the way people respect LGBT is like the way they appreciate other things that we believe. If we believe in Islam, so they'll respect us the way they respect LGBT. So they treat everyone's like the same. If we do pray anywhere, they're not gonna be disturbing us. They will respect, they'll protect us. So it's not just about LGBT, but the way they will protect humans' freedoms. So it's like free for us to do anything that we want as long as we do not break any rule. Yeah. Then there is a question from the comment. Okay, yeah. Now Mbak Miranda, okay. I think that's
About
okay.
the halal food, it's not really difficult to find. In the supermarket, we have chicken. The color is like the green box. It will be like halal logo in there. It's come from Romania, so you can choose the general chicken, but the general chicken they kill in the factory, just like kill directly. So which is like it's not halal, but you can find the halal one with the logo, like the halal. And if you want to find like the halal sausages, halal like beef, chickens, we have a lot of things in here like Jila. We have Dubai store as well. We have a Kohinoor. They sell the chili as well. They sell the beef, chickens and sausages in halal version. So it's not really difficult. So if you want to just buy it. But the things is the price is much expensive, like it's pretty hard to find and halal because like the process will be halal process. So the price it will be is like price for the halal products in here. If I continue the discussion about the anomaly, the LGBT thing, there's something interesting in Hungary, even though like we are in the Central European country. But in Hungary, especially in educations, LGBT is prohibited, so it's not allowed. So in the book from the Ministry of Education and also in the schools, like the environment, like the teachers and the staff is not allowed to give like the flag, the colorful flag, and also like if there is like the girl and the girl like they like there's a prejudice like they are like something, so it's not allowed because like as I learned in the classroom, the government trying to make sure the quality of education in Hungary to more. Yeah, they know about that it exists. It's like you can open-minded of it, but that's not the culture of Hungary people. So it's not really, open topic in Hungary.
Yeah, so the Christianity in Hungary is very strong.
We can say about it because the Christianity is the foundation of the country. Like, the Orthodox things before, when they are in a war, the church things is like the foundations to win the war at the time.
Okay, thank you so much for both of you.
Thank you, Zidane. Thank you for the question.
Okay, thank you, Zidane, for the question and for the answer from Ms. Hesti and Mr. Alimin. So for the next question from Radi, go ahead for your question.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Greetings, I am Ahmad Radiansyah from SMK PGRI 3 Malang, and I would like to ask 2 questions to Ms. Hesti Miranda and Mr. Alimin Adiwaloyo. The first question is, how was your first experience for fasting in each respective country? Second, were there any memorable moments during your first time in each country? That's all.
Yeah, Miranda, maybe you can answer first.
Yeah. The first day of the Ramadan, there's nothing special as I can say because like, you know, we are not the majority religion in here. So it's like usual day, but the things is you don't eat, you don't drink, and you just go to the class every day. So it's not really, yeah, you know, the vibes in Indonesia is really like very, yeah, I miss that moment actually. But in Europe, yeah, there is nothing like very special. And the most memorable so far, I'm not really sure I have it because most of the time in my brain is like just go to the class, do the assignments, go to travel if we have a time. But for the like, you know, the Ramadan and Eid is very special moment. It's really we waiting for that every year. And before we have like the date, we have to explain to our friends first because usually after they hang out from at a time, we explain to our friends we will not eat next month. And they said, huh? So what will happen to you? Are you going to die? And we said, no, we are not going to die. Like we are not going to suicide or something. It's just because this is our religion. So that's why we use this scarf. And that's the moment that we follow up our principles. So we will not eat starting from the morning until evening. So we will not going die. We will still eat like after like around 6 to 7. We will have our break fasting. So I think the moment for me.
Yeah, in my case, the first experience fasting in the US, I think it's not that different as what the Miranda's experience, like just 14 hours. And then one thing that I feel so different, like the vibe, the atmosphere, it's not like in Indonesia at all. So quiet in here, especially spring now, and then people just going out, chill out. They just sunbathing, and yeah, there's no vibe at all. But except when we going to Islamic Center, there are some community right there. We have a fasting break together or iftar together. Other than that, it's a quiet. Yeah, I think that's my fasting experience here. And something that memorable when I first came here, probably the university was huge, super huge, and the buildings, like between one building with other building, even at the same at the same university, it's gonna be very different, very different. And then yeah, that's the academic thing, and a lot of friends because we Fulbrighters, there was kind of 1 month preparation, and we coming from different countries all over the world, like almost 20 different countries all together. So we're sharing different cultures. That's kind of unique from Africa, Asia, from Europe. Yeah, it's kind of unique. We learn different cultures. And then the road, like I said before, the road's huge and very quiet. So, and then on the side of the road, the view is completely different. When we ride like 2 hours, the first 30 minutes compared to the next 30 minutes, the view of the landscape will be very different. So that's something I didn't see when I was in Indonesia. And I think it's also different compared to Australia, because I lived in Australia before. And it's just different. Yeah, I think that's some memorable experience that I can share with Rati and other participants.
Okay, thank you for the answer. For Radi, do you have any further question or is that enough for you?
Yes, that's enough. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Radi, for the question. So we have the last question from the chat box. The question from Asa and Dini Massive. The question is, what makes the U.S. university services are outstanding? Okay, to Mr. Alimin.
What's the question again?
What makes the U.S. university services are outstanding?
Okay. I think kind of a professionalism in here. They're very responsive, and then the facilities, like they'll provide the best facilities. Yeah. Yeah, the facilities is very good. Let's say library, it's kind of the references, like most references that we look for when we want to get any references, it's easily accessible. And then, yeah, when we couldn't get the reference that we want from library, we can just say to library, and then several days later they'll provide it for us by borrowing from other libraries. And then, yeah, the classroom designs, I think the classroom design is also different in terms of the way the class is laid out. And then the staff, they're very helpful if you have any problem. And then we email them. They usually like try to get it done as quickly as possible. And I think that's all. Yeah, I think that's all I can say. And then like I think pantry is something that's unique in here, so students can get like free food, and we can go there like every single day if we don't really have money, and it's for free as long as we bring our student card, we can go there. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Alimin, for the answer. So, because of the limited time, for the other participant who have still question, you can write your question in the chat box, and the committee will send the question to Miss Hasti and Mr. Alimin, and the answer from them we will send it to the WhatsApp group. Okay.
Can I ask directly?
Um, I'm sorry. I'm
Probably
sorry,
that's
sir,
okay.
because
One
we have
questions.
limitation time.
Just one questions.
Oh, one question. Okay.
See, yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for Mr. Alimin, because you give me a time for ask questions. Before I listening your explanation about United States, I had a negative presumption about America, United States. I mean, because when Donald Trump became president, Donald Trump declared Islamophobia. So in this case, I have negative presumption. Indonesia, majority of Islam. So America, minority. So in this case, how the student there and how to keep the tolerance, because in United States cannot declare azan. So how could the Islam follower there to know when I do the salat and sahur and the others, because there is not permission to do declaration azan the others activities. So in this case, this is my question for Alimin Adiwiloyo. Thank you so much, sir. Assalamualaikum.
Thank you, Pak Asif, for your questions. Okay, right. Well, I think Islamic religion is like they treat any religions the same. So they appreciate Islamic religions or other religions. There is nothing different. They're not gonna treat us differently. So religion is like a freedom of choice for us. So governments and university, they protect any religions, not just religions, any belief that we have. Even some people, they don't have religion, that's fine. Basically, there is no problem. There is no problem at all when you come here. It's not like what we see in media. because media probably they created some news for attracting people to read, but in fact there's no problem at all. So any religion will be fine. It's protected by law. And the second question about how can we understand if it is the time for us to pray Dhuhr Asar because there is no speaker with high volume. It's kind of like federal and state regulations that not just Islamic center or masjid, but other public places, they are not allowed to use like high volume speaker. That's like for all, for this rule applies for all cases, not just for like Muslims. So it's kind of rule because in here they just try to make the society as quiet as possible and comfortable for everyone. I think it's also applies to European country. If I'm not mistaken, I don't know, probably Miranda could share about it as well in the Hungary context.
Yeah, we are similar. So it's not allowed to give the speaker. And if you want to pray, you just need to use your phone. There's an application in there to know like when the time for the praying. I think almost similar.
Okay, thank you, sir. I can release my negative perception.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
yeah. Thank you for asking your question.
Okay, thank you for all the question from the participants, and thank you too for Ms. Hasti and Mr. Alimin for the clear answer that you gave to us. So because we already had our Q&A session, let's jump to the next session. The next session is documentation. So for the committee, okay. So let's give the best post that you have, guys. We have the documentation. Okay. Okay. From the first slide. 3, 2, 1. Okay. The next slide. Okay. Okay. The next slide. Okay. Okay. And for the next slide. Okay. For the next slide. Okay. The next slide.
There's a lot of slide.
Yes, there's a lot of participant here. Okay. Okay, for the last slide. Okay. Okay, because we have already all of our session, let's close this morning event with saying hamdalah together. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin.
And reminder.
Thank you.
Okay. We're not close yet. Okay?
Alhamdulillah.
So reminder to all participants, don't forget to fill the attendance link in the chat box by filling in your full name and title, if any, and include an active email to get an e-certificate. Also, don't forget to check our Instagram and TikTok account for another session of Ramadan around the world in this Ramadan, only on at ELED And please do not leave the WhatsApp group because there is further information there. And so for the all of the participants, once more, don't forget to fill the attendance links. Okay, thank you. Have a nice day. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much everyone
Very
for
much.
participating. Thank you Pak Alimin. Saya lihat
Thank
Bu
you,
Eka
Pak
juga sudah
Mbak
join
Esti,
dari
apa
tadi ya.
kabar?
Hati-hati.
Baik, Bunda, Bunda, baik. Bunda sehat? Bunda sehat, Bunda, Bunda Datit.
Alhamdulillah sehat.
Bunda Hesti sambil makan kurma ya Bunda. Ini jam 4 udah
Bukan.
ini.
Oh iya iya iya.
Sahur sekarang.
Sahur.
Sahur ya Allah. Ini kenangan di Tongren loh sama Mbak Esti nih.
Iya.
Kala
Melalui
itu ya Mbak.
ya, Bunda.
2016 yo.
Yang nggih Bunda. 2016 suka duka.
Suka duka. Selamat ya, seneng ya Allah Mbak, Ibu kalau seneng.
Alhamdulillah ya.
Iya.
Senang sekali.
Ini kalau ada kesempatan Hesti insya Allah ke Malang Bunda. Ketemu insya Allah.
Yo,
Semoga
ayo. Beneran loh. Bun tunggu loh ya.
tahun 2020 itu cuma ketemu Pak Sudiran. Karena waktu itu minta surat untuk yang master degree waktu itu. Kalau misalnya ada kesempatan ya mainlah ke ini ke fakultas.
Iya, kami tunggu. Kalau Pak Al ketemu waktu uji kemarin itu. Mbak Esti 16. Tapi mesti cek FB, Ibu mesti cek FB-nya Mbak Anu.
Banyak foto ya Bunda.
Iya, tapi tambah kangen. Ya Allah sukses terus ya Mbak ya. Yuk.
Terus Bunda.
Ya. Mohon izin ya Mbak, mohon izin Pak. Mbak Jarum, Pak Al ya.
Thank you.
Oh, iya, orang absen ya Mas.
Bisa ini jangan absen.
Iya Mas, makasih.
Pak AC ini siapa ya? Pak AC itu nama asli siapa Pak?
Ya Pak.
Namanya siapa nih Pak AC ini?
Iya Pak AC aja Pak AC SPD.
Pak AC.
Ya,
Yang dari mana Pak?
Dari Kalimantan Timur, Penajam Pesisir Utara. Apa namanya tuh?
IKN.
IKN.
Ibu kota ini.
Ya, orang ibu
Saya
kota.
dari Negara Bapak.
Iya.
Ya, jadi ibu kota main ke Malang Pak.
Ya, ini anak saya rencana nanti kuliah di UMM ini karena saya tertarik sekali melihat tadi anunya Pak slide pertama itu. Dan ada program ke luar negeri nih saya lihat-lihat tadi. Thank you Pak.
Insya Allah.
Iya, amin. Iya.
Ya, welcome. Ya. Tadi Mas ya. Bu Esti, terima kasih ya. Saya tak lihat dulu ya.
Terima kasih banyak Pak Jarum.
Terima kasih semuanya. Saya end meeting ya semuanya ya. Terima kasih. Sampai jumpa di.
Oke. Ya, makasih Mas. Makasih. Yuk.
Terima kasih banyak Bapak. Terima kasih.
Iya, Pak.
Izin lupa.